Welcome to Empire Building. I'm Wendy Papazan, and together with my 4 co-hosts, we bring you weekly unfiltered conversations about leadership, growing a big empire, and living on your own terms.
I'm Kimber Levitt-Keaty. We are investors and wealth builders with over $75 million in combined net worth.
I'm Sarah Reynolds. We are visionaries who built more than 50 businesses with over $122 million in annual revenue.
I'm Tiffany Fikes. We've led thousands of people and do it all while being pretty good moms.
And I'm Seychelle Van Poole. We are your podcast to learn how to build big businesses and even bigger lives.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to, I know, your favorite podcast, Empire Building. Today in our virtual studio, we've got Seychelle, Wendy, and Tiffany, and I'm just excited to be with you guys today and share some awesome new content for all of our listeners. And we've got to start with a dad joke from Wendy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you shared one not that long ago that we haven't not shared yet with our listeners. So what's your dad joke of today?
The one we should have done for the other episode?
Yes,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What did the mommy tomato say to the baby tomato when the baby tomato was lagging behind?
What?
Catch up!
And that, folks, is a preview for next week's episode. But today, we are going to dive into the amazing topic of AI.
Can you believe it? AI, it's crazy. The future is here.
Yes, it is.
What's crazy is how fast the future is moving here.
Yeah.
It feels crazy to me that, what was it? I mean, like a year and a half ago, we weren't really using this at all.
Yeah. Someone who grew up with mixtapes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy.
I mean, I was telling a story about, this will age me, but I was telling a story of my first roommate in college that I got, and we shared a desktop computer. Like, our room had one computer, we brought it, and we shared it. There weren't even laptops at that point.
Totally.
Well, I didn't get email until I was a senior in college.
Wow.
The internet did not exist in my college life.
Wow.
Wendy wins.
Well, because I'm older. But I graduated from college. I went on, an 18-month trip around the world. I came back and the internet had been invented.
Wow, that would be weird.
Yeah, crazy. I remember the first time I got on Google. It was my very first job in Austin. No, I remember it very distinctly. Someone sent it to me and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Wow. In college, what was the main form of communication before email?
Talking to each other, I guess.
Pigeons.
I wrote letters.
I guess talking.
You picked up the phone?
There was smoke signals, telegraph.
Hey, Nick and I started dating, and the way we ended up started dating was I was out of town. He called my home answering machine, left a message. 4 weeks later, I got home and then called him, and he thought I was just blowing him off, Because
my home answering machine. I met Jay, and he left a message on my answering machine to ask me out on a date.
Yeah.
And my roommate, Stacy, and I, we listened to it over and over again.
My college claim to fame, also showing how old I am, not as old, is that to get Facebook was invented when I was in college.
Yep.
And only colleges were on Facebook, and you had to have your college email, because we did have email, to log in, and the college email had to approve it.
EDU, right?
Yeah, it had to be EDU.
And now our robots will talk to our other robots to accept dates and, all those things. Who knows? But today we're going to pull back the curtain a little bit. We're going to start a kind of slower series on our podcast about AI and how we're using it in all the different parts of our businesses. But today we're not going to talk about theory. We're not going to talk about trends. We're going to talk about real prompts and how we're actually using it right now to get more clients. So that's what we're going to be doing today, because AI isn't coming. It's already here. And it's going to create even more of a divide between the people who are using it and the people who aren't. But more importantly, it's the people who are prompting intentionally. And the value of your prompts is the value of the outcome that you get from the robot. That's what I call it. I just call it the robot.
Who has a name? I know Sarah has a name. Chathy.
Yeah.
Chathy. Yeah. Yeah.
She's my girl.
So I have a friend at AT&T Corporate because our headquarters are in DFW. And we were talking just about how their team is using AI at a corporate level. And she said that they have a whole now engineering team that is AI prompt engineering. And she's like, it's a whole subspecialty on the engineering team. And there's a whole department now that writes all of our specific prompts, that spits out all of our presentations, all of our analysis, all of our client things. And it's becoming like a whole division of Tiffany's point, how to properly train your AI, how to ask it the right things, and how to give it enough information to really be powerful for you. So I thought, you know what, that's pretty amazing. So
yeah,
whole subspecialty.
Well, and the stat is like 90% of small business owners are using it, but only 60% say it's like increasing their productivity or really that they're getting the outputs that's actually helpful. And I would venture to say, not scientifically, but my guess is the difference between that 30% is their prompts. Are they prompting it well?
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's what we're going to get into today. And Wendy, you found some good stats about how realtors are using it.
Yeah, that's from National Association of Realtors. They did a 2025 survey on realtor technology, and it said that 20% of agents use AI every single day, 22% use it weekly, 27% use it a few times a month, and 32% have not yet used AI in their business. So about 68% then of realtors are using AI sometime. And that may have changed a lot because we're here in 2026 and AI adoption is growing very rapidly. And I have no doubt that we'll be close to 100% in probably another 18 months.
So before we jump into literally the prompts that we use to get more leads into our business, I wanted to hit just some high-level prompt tips. You can find whole books written about this. Like Kimber was telling me about a website, and I might say it wrong, but I think it's Prompt Cowboy. And it's basically like you go put your subpar prompt in there, and it will make it better for you. But here's the thing that you need to know most basically about prompts. Or here's our tips on how to create a good prompt. So number one, you need to center Chathy or the robot, however you refer to it, center its focus. It has literally the entire world's knowledge or, some version of the world's knowledge.
Prompt Cowboy is a thing.
Prompt Cowboy. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right, it's true. It also makes stuff up, which we'll talk about later in this episode.
Okay, but wait, do you refer to your chat as the robot? Like when you're talking to it? You're like, hey,
I don't
robot?
say it that. I say it when I talk about it.
Know.
Well, I
I'm
don't
just
think
curious.
that that's a problem if I say please and thank you. So
okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, hey, robot.
Oh, I'm bad enough. Guys, I barely greet the humans in my life. It takes everything to add a hi, Sarah, at the front of a text for me. So I can't greet the robot. Okay, but anyway, we're centering this technology because it has so much information and it doesn't know what expertise you want it to have. And so the more you can center its focus and expertise, the better the output. Number two, tell it more background than you think it needs to know about whatever it is that's going on. You'll see that in our prompts. We'll talk about that. Give it so much background on where you started, how you got here, what you're wanting. And then that's number three, be as specific as you can about the output you want it to give you because it wants to please you. And so help it do that.
And you can just use your voice. You don't need to type anymore. Everybody can just stop typing into their chat and just talk. And that's how you give it a lot of context. And then it'll do all the translating. It'll just be a lot quicker for you.
Yeah, in life, the person with the most context makes the best decisions. And so if you think about it, like your job is to make sure that Chathy has the most context possible to make the best decision and make the best outcome. And so the more information, everything you know about whatever you're asking it, put in. Okay. Why you're even doing that. Like my goal is to increase leads. That's the goal, right? And then everything, why are you doing it? And then keep going.
So 4 prompts that are going to help you get more clients.
Yes. And then we are going to give you those 4 prompts with some bonuses. Okay. So one of the main ways that I'm using Chathy right now is to have a competitive advantage and really like as my thought partner and my competitive partner with our competition. So a big part of Empower Homes business is non-Mets, people that don't know, like, or trust us yet. And we have a few competitors in each of our markets that also focus on those that don't know, like, or trust them. And so I've been using it heavily with that. So my very long prompt, but we will put this in the show notes, is I give it context first. So Empower Home is a real estate team that specializes in helping families buy and sell homes across multiple markets. One of our top competitors is insert competitor name, who we frequently go head to head with for listings in the blank region. So like in this state or in this city or in this metro area, right? Our target audience is move-up sellers. They're homeowners who are selling their first home in order to purchase their second, larger, or more permanent home. They're often juggling equity concerns, emotional attachment, timing, and uncertainty about market conditions. Based on what you know about Empower Home and our competitor, what messaging or features might be making the competitor more attractive to move-up sellers right now? Please only use things that are facts and don't make something up. Okay. And then, so that's question number one, right? With all that context. Then the second thing is, what are the top 3 to 5 reasons our ideal client might call them before calling us? And then what specific changes should we make to our website messaging, visuals, call to actions, or value propositions to resonate more clearly with move-up sellers and better differentiate ourselves? And then fourth is, use psychological triggers and emotional decision-making cues in your recommendations. And so I've literally spent hours going back and forth with this one prompt to start. And then as it shares things with me, I'm having a conversation with Chathy to get to as simple as, okay, what are the next 3 blogs we should write to make sure that we're standing out to our ideal client and against this competitor?
So I want to make sure I understand. So that big chunk all goes into one thing. Like,
yes,
people think you ask question and question and question. No. This all goes in the same prompt.
Yes. And then one that sort of goes with this, but isn't as much about the competitor, that has also helped me a lot with generating more business, is give me 5 marketing messages that speak directly to the fears and goals of move-up sellers, specifically targeting those who are unsure whether now is the right time to sell their first home and upgrade, include emotional appeal, trust-building language, and urgency. So those are some things that I've been using to generate more business and content to help more move-up sellers, which is our ideal client.
So when you get the results of this, what do you do next? Like, you've finally gotten, okay, great, or you edit it, like, then you're just putting it into your systems, correct? Like, what do you do after Chathy has given you something great?
So what I do personally is I put it in a Google Doc and it goes to our lead gen team. And these are the next 3 blog posts that we need to publish over the next week. Here are social media posts that we need to publish. We've been using it a lot with Google products on our Google business pages. And because this is going to get into maybe a rabbit hole, but Google is doing a lot on authenticity right now. It's valuing authenticity in your Google business page. And so it's less, they're looking for actually less like professional, but more like just real talk. And so we've been using a lot of our content from this on our Google business page as well. So we're using it on every medium, every platform possible. We also update all of our talking points. So I take it and then we do specific based on medium. So you've got your website, you've got your Google platform, you have social media, we have mass media, and then also what's our next 3 emails to our non-Met database. And so it helps write the emails based on that as well. So lots of things.
Well, one of the things we're doing is we're using AI as a role partner, a role-playing partner. We always do scripts and role play, and I always encourage my agents to do it on their own. And if you don't have a role play partner, or if you're looking to up your role play partner game, you can use a great role play script. I actually got this from a top agent. His name is Eric Forney. And here's how it goes. You say, you are an expert real estate sales trainer. Your task is to role play realistic real estate sales scenarios to help real estate agents improve their communication, discovery, objection handling, closing, and rapport building skills. At the completion of the role plan, provide the user feedback. So you don't even need a partner. Your chatty will give you your feedback. And then you get to choose what kind of role play you want to do that day. So you will play the role of your choice. Could be a buyer, seller, landlord, prospect, as specified. Here are the instructions. Before starting the role play, ask the user the following clarifying questions to set the scenario properly. What specific role would you like me to play? So AI is asking you this question, and you're saying, I want it to be a prospect. Second question, what is your primary objective for this role play? For me, it could be booking a listing, right? We're trying to get more clients, or booking an appointment. 3, are there specific objections you'd like me to raise during this conversation? So we are in a declining market here in Austin. And so for us, it's all about price, timing, competition, trust, whatever you think the objections are going to be. And then number 4, would you like me to simulate a particular personality type? This could be a difficult client. It could be a skeptical client. It could be indecisive, assertive, analytical, whatever you want to practice. And then the 5th question is any specific challenges you'd like to practice. And you can put in reluctance, urgency, fear of market changes, etc. Once the user confirms, begin the role play naturally as the selected character, making the interaction realistic and challenging while aligned to the user's goals.
That is so good, Wendy.
That's really good.
Well, you can thank Eric.
That is awesome. Are you using Chathy for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Chat. Mhm.
Chat. Okay. Chat GPT. And then you go. You start role playing.
Yeah, you start role playing. You go back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it gives you real feedback, real user feedback. It'll say something like, oh, the way you approached it was this, and I would have done it this way, or you can have these different options. And so it's just real time feedback. And, often when you're role playing, the person that you're role playing with isn't as specific in their feedback as maybe you want them to be. And so this is something, 20 minutes a day. I don't know about you guys, but scripts and role play was how I became a successful agent. My background was not in sales. I don't think I naturally was like a sales agent. And so, scripts and role play, I did that twice a week, 20 minutes. And that's really what helped me become a better agent.
I love that.
We talked about that yesterday at Empower Home, and one of our sales leaders said, Brian, shout out to Brian, said, it's not like Kobe Bryant said, well, I already know how to dribble and shoot a basketball, so I'm just going to stop practicing now. And so it's so important. And so using it now, you have now a role play partner whenever you need one.
Yeah.
So before you have to have a conversation, before you pick up the phone, role play it. How has it done with tone? Because I haven't used it much with role play. Do they hear tone, or does it hear tone?
I think to a certain extent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe not fully.
That would be a great follow-up question.
Yeah.
Like, you can test it. And the crazy thing is, it's updating so quickly. Like we say today, it isn't great necessarily at tone, and tomorrow it might be.
Yeah.
I've made that mistake where I'm like, well, it's not good at that. And then I've got this other person in my life, in my community group, who he does AI prompting all day long. And he was like, oh, that was so true 2 weeks ago, but have you done the new update? And I'm like, 2 weeks ago?
Wow.
No.
Yeah. Well, and we work in such a dynamic industry where everything's changing all the time. So your scripts and role play are going to be changing dramatically. And you could even ask it, hey, based on what you know about what's going on in the, local Austin, Texas market, would you recommend, some topics for me to script and role play? So even if you don't know, even if you can't necessarily fill in the blanks, if you're a new agent, that's a great way to start.
Love that.
Well, and one other thing that we'll talk about at the end, but if you keep this in one thread where you just have like your role play thread, this isn't a prompt you have to use over and over again with your AI. You do it once, and then you do your role play for the day, and then you open up that thread the next day and you say, using the prompt above, let's do another role play. And it just goes and that's where it really multiplies getting easier. Because then all you do is pull up that chat.
Yeah, because you've got your chat, you've got your little sidebar on the left-hand side of your chat, and you just go back to your role play exercise.
So good.
You can do it every day. And then you could actually ask it, hey, based on what you know about my scripts and role play over the past 8 months, how do you think I'm doing?
That's where my mind went. They're
Yeah.
seeing the growth and progress and having cheer you on.
And something that we're mentioning here, but you may not have picked up on, is the pro version of this, or like the upgraded version, is what allows you to save a lot more of your conversations and organize everything. So if you aren't paying a little bit extra a month for that, it's definitely worth considering so that you can keep all of your data in there.
If you have the free version, you need to upgrade immediately.
Right. I just want to make sure I noted that.
It's like $20 a month as a business owner. It's a no-brainer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, I use my robot to really help not stare at a blank document when I need to start something new. So this year, I used it specifically around the social media plan. We've never really had a social media plan, mostly because I don't know enough to create one. I don't have anyone on my team who's really passionate about it. I mean, we have a 20-something on our team who doesn't even use social media, which is fascinating. But all that to say, I wanted to start with something. I don't like to start with a blank document. I don't know if y'all have that. It's the hardest thing to start. When you've got something on the page, it's easier to clarify your point of view or modify something that's already existing. And so I'll give you the prompt for what I used that for. But based on what you know about Fikes Realty Group, create a content rhythm across these social media platforms of LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Include a simple 90-day repeatable outline of content that will be used across all platforms but only created once, that is needed weekly with a sample of most searched for real estate topics centered on selling your home. I cannot post more than 3 times a week. I like to provide a lot of factual content, so please don't make up any facts. If you wish you knew something, then leave me a blank to fill in. Be concise but funny. And the outcome I want from the readers or consumers is to have people respond and engage in asking questions about their home's value.
That's good.
So that's a poorly written, like grammatically, that's like very flow. I just was like, what are all the things? I'm going to hit all the topics. And there's not even in the right order if I was talking to a human. But that's what's great is I hit all the topics and it produced a schedule that then I could say, oh, that's a good idea, or I want to do it over here, and I could modify it. Little follow-up prompts on that is you've modified one of theirs and you're like, this is great for Facebook, but it doesn't work for LinkedIn. So repurpose this and fill in all the content into an Instagram post and a LinkedIn post instead of Facebook, you know? So moving your content throughout, because what's great about this is a time saver for you. Yes, you can start with information, you can make it your own, but it becomes a multiplier. I don't love AI as a creator of content. I used it in this prompt because I wanted to have it, again, to not have a blank page to start with. I work better with
a jumping
some
off
input and a jumping off point. But for me, it reduces decision fatigue because, like, do I want to post 3 times on Facebook or do I want to post 4 times on Instagram? All that wears me out and I can't get to the end of the plan. And so letting them take all that off of me helps. Then I can just be creative with the content.
I love that. You know, and I think about too, Tiffany, like with everything all of us juggle between running the business and training people and hiring people and being a parent and being a mom and spouse, all these things. Like I had a lot more energy before I had all those responsibilities that I could sit down with a blank page and do that. I do find today when it comes to doing that deep thinking that's required for something like a content plan, having a jumping off point is so powerful because it really does reduce that overwhelm. So I really appreciate you giving an example like that because I really think it's a very real challenge that empire builders have in today's market.
Yeah, and I just won't do it. I just won't post on social media.
Yeah.
And if I had a plan telling me what to do and taking away that decision, I would be more likely to do it.
Totally.
So this gets me in front of people purposefully now.
I love that.
What's powerful to double down on that, Tiffany, is like when you do create the content, tell it. So like talk back to it of like, this is what I ended up posting. I've been screenshotting my professional dashboard every single week on like, what am I doing well? What am I not doing well? What should I change?
Oh, I love that.
Like analyze all of the data on it. So like it can get even smarter when you share the information back. So that's awesome.
That is awesome. And then our 4th prompt for you today to bring it all home is you're doing your lead gen, you're doing your competitive analysis, you're getting in front of these clients in, gosh dang it, people go cold and stop responding to you. And that is so frustrating. Like, they all need to be working with us. The fact that people would ghost us is so offensive. Like, everyone should be working with each of our businesses. But the reality is they do. And so the fourth prompt we're going to give you is designed to get a results without doing brain damage of chasing people all over the world and back. It's to give you better communication at scale. We want to give warmth without overwhelm. And ultimately, I love this one was from Tiffany. We want to be able to use AI to sound like your smartest self on your best day. And so I'm going to give you a prompt that is going to give us cold lead re-engagement. And Julie Holmes wrote a great book for AI for real estate agents. So some of her stuff is reflected in here too. So shout out to Julie on that one. But here's how the prompt goes. The first part is describing what you want it to act as. I always like to start with how you want them to show up. So act as a seller-focused cold lead conversion expert in real estate. Act as a top 1% real estate agent strategist who specializes in converting cold buyer leads. I want 20 re-engagement messages that I can use over various mediums like text, direct message, and email. These should trigger replies first and build trust and urgency and confidence in my team. Assume that the market is slower, that buyers are hesitant, and we will win through strategy and negotiation expertise. Keep it punchy and real. Then the next thing I would do is drill it down and say, for context, these are homeowners who have expressed interest in selling but paused due to uncertainty, pricing, concerns, market hesitation. They're cautious, analytical, and afraid of making the wrong move, and they've stopped responding to our messages, text, and email attempts in the last 8 weeks. Write 20 short outreach messages to re-engage these cold sellers and position our team as the safest, smartest choice to guide their home sale. And then the requirements that we put in underneath that is to emphasize pricing strategy, risk management, and marketing realism. Address hesitation without pressure. Use authority, calm, confidence, and clarity. Avoid overpromising or hype. Please no emojis or cliches. No salesy language. And 1 question max per message. And then it will spit out 20 different things that then you can use across your mediums. And if these people haven't responded, the goal here is not to be flagged as spam, not to be blocked. And so you want it to be as engaging as possible.
I love how direct you are with that output. Like, no emojis, none of this. Don't give me this. I love it.
Yeah.
And we've learned that because we've not said it, and then it gives you this stuff.
Yeah. The long dash, I can't remember what you call that. I'm always like, please no long dashes. Yeah. None of that. So that's actually a rule I gave my chat GPT was never use as a rule the in dash ever in any copy you give me.
EM.
Yes, EM dash, right?
M dash.
So I ask nicely, but sometimes it still will do it. And I have to remind it that was
for the grammar
kind.
people out there. That was for you.
I love it. And it's tricky when you feel, especially when you have leads that haven't followed back up, don't respond. It can feel really defeating if you don't have a whole team or a person that's dedicated to doing that on a daily basis, and especially if you're a smaller crew and you're working to build. And so the goal of that is to be able to, make it where you can take this and reuse it every couple weeks and tell it to give you 20 fresh ones or different ones to be able to go after that, which is nice. So. And then we give that to our team for them to use for their own language too.
What I love about that, Say, is that you could take your prompt, and then when someone responds, take Wendy's prompt.
Yes.
And role play before calling them.
Yeah.
How to respond to them. And you all heard it here first on Empire Building.
I love it. When it's right, you want to do less better. You want to use your time more wisely. You want to work smarter, not harder. And so I think these 4 different prompts we've given you, hopefully it's going to save you hours of planning and thinking and writing and over analyzing, which we can tend to do. Hopefully this will save you a lot of that brain damage so that you can get out there and execute and make more money even faster in your business, because we want you to go live that big life instead.
Well, and I had one thought as we were going through this Wendy's comment about that you can just talk to it. Y'all don't even need to copy down these prompts. Just open your chat, get on the part of this episode where we say the chat to you and let chat listen to us and put it into your chat GPT.
Done.
Saving you time.
Yep, that's right.
Left and right.
And we hope we save you time for that big life. So we shared today about all of the ways, 4 ways that you can use AI to grow your business, to grow your leads, to build that big business. And we want you to use that time to build an even bigger life. So lots of tips today. I know I learned a lot from my amazing co-hosts, and thank you guys for being with me today. And let's get out there. Let's have an awesome week. Let's go impact more clients today, this week, because of what we learned, and live that big life. Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Have a great week.
This podcast is for general informational purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions of the guest represent those of the guest and not Keller Williams Realty LLC and its affiliates, and should not be construed as financial, economic, legal, tax, or other advice. This podcast is provided without any warranty or guarantee of its accuracy, completeness, timeliness, or results from using the information.